And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Back from the Grid podcast.
What?
I'm your host, Matthew, along with the other host in the room, Cody. Cody, how you doing today?
The other host is doing great, Matthew. I am fantabulistical.
That's also not a word.
Are we going to do this
every
show?
episode?
Okay, Matthew, this is a special episode of the Back from the Grid podcast. Do you want to know why?
Please inform me why.
So, all you beautiful people out there, I'm sure, have listened to the past 3 podcasts. Of course you have, you know. You
all
wouldn't
3.
Just be jumping in on the bandwagon. So this is our 4th podcast, and we do these weekly, so
whoop.
Add up that math on my imaginary calculator here. And we've done this for a month. This is our 1-month podcast anniversary.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit over
Matthew.
a month.
We have not quit yet.
Yeah, see, this is way better than last time.
Yes.
Wait, what?
What? Okay, so... Yes, so as we are on the 1 month and continuing... Matthew has created some really awesome graphics.
I did tease it on Facebook and Twitter, if any of you guys noticed that.
It has been teased.
It has been teased. By the time of upload, the background art and the profile picture on all of our social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Myspace, Fudge, don't know the rest.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them will have been done. So,
done did
the thing. So, if you have any inclination to witness these beautiful marvels of art, please go check it, because I put a lot of time and work on it.
Yes, they look awesome. I may or may not have had a critical hand in creating them.
Maybe.
But it was just Matthew being Matthew and making cool graphics, because I don't have time to do that. So, good job, Matthew. Congratulations. Congratulations to you, listeners, for being able to look at the awesome new art we have. But there's one more thing, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this? This is a big one.
My body is ready for this.
Okay, that's weird. So, at the start of this podcast, when me and Matthew decided to make this, we made an agreement. And this was an agreement because we did, in fact, do this podcast before, but because we were both busy and there were life things getting in the way, we both decided that if we were going to spend any money on this podcast, and because I believe it costs money to put this podcast on not Spotify, SoundCloud and whatnot, that we were going to have to do at least 4 podcasts so that we knew we were serious. And here it is, the 4th podcast. So as of maybe not when you're listening to this, but very possibly as of the next episode, episode 5. You should be able to get all of our episodes on all of the devices and stuff. So
we'll be testing that out.
Yes.
As of the 5th one, we will inform people what platforms it'll be on.
We're shooting for SoundCloud, Google Music, maybe iTunes, Spotify, all those. We're going to try to get them on everywhere. I don't know what the requirements are. We haven't looked into it yet. But that means that you'll be able to get our podcast anywhere.
That would be pleasant.
Very happy. Look forward to that, because that is coming up. And I'm sure lots of other cool things are coming up now that we know that we are serious.
We're
about this
serious.
podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always been serious about this. Every day, all day, bro.
Bird
It's
chirps.
everyday, bro, with that Disney Channel flow.
Oh, dear. All right. So, Matthew, what have you been getting up to in the past week? What games have you been playing? All that
I
good
think
stuff.
you know. We've been playing a little bit of Killing Floor 2, didn't we?
We have.
I got him hooked onto it, and it was a
I don't know what
blast.
you're talking about. Humble Bundle got me hooked onto that.
Oh.
That's a good
I was
game.
the one who told you that Killing Floor 2 was
That's
amazing,
true.
and this Humble Bundle was
That's
amazing.
true. He's not wrong.
So therefore, I'm amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I take that as a humble brag.
You should.
I did play a little bit of Black Ops 3 Custom Zombies. In fact, I may or may not try to live stream, and then I found out that was a definite no.
Yeah, because your internet is not exactly...
Is garbo.
strong,
Downloads
though.
is good.
Yeah.
Uploads just terrible.
That's the way it goes a lot of times.
So unfortunately, that is going to be a small problem.
But I will still be able to live stream, and Matthew can join us on those adventures.
Yes.
And so, yeah, check us out on Twitch and all that good stuff. We might even start streaming on YouTube simultaneously.
I did try to.
I don't know
actually.
if we can do that just yet.
Yeah,
but
you can.
We'll figure it out. Let's not worry about that. Right now, let's not make the guests.
Confused.
You're all guests right now, not listeners.
No, you're our
guests.
neighbors.
You are our neighbors. Hello, neighbor.
Hello.
That I want to see that movie so bad. It looks awesome.
Won't you be
Mr.
my
Rogers
neighbor?
was like legit.
I watched him as a kid.
Yeah. Anyway, let's stick to some sort of plan here. So I have been playing some video games, and the video games I've been playing is just Killing Floor 2 and Europa Universalis 4 also.
Still have not played it.
It's a really good game if you like that kind of game. It's got a big learning curve and lots of DLC. But yeah, so that's good. Hey, Matthew.
Yes.
Now I know you're going to really enjoy this information. This is the most important part of the podcast.
Is Half-Life 3 out?
No other part of this podcast is important besides this one part right here. Are you ready?
Portal 3.
Mountain Blade Bannerlord is not out yet.
Oh. We're just going to
Still
keep
not out
getting
yet.
disappointed every time.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the
We're going to be on
100th.
episode 1000 and it's still not going to be out.
Actually, no, it's going to come out like the next podcast, and then we'll be like, oh, hey,
No, then
what were we
the
wrong?
podcast will be over because I'll just be playing the game.
It'll just be me. I'll just be like, hey, Cody, this game news is pretty cool. What's your opinion on it?
You'll just hear it from a
Silence.
distance. Yeah, cool.
You're not even reading the thing, are you?
I don't know what you're talking about. Right, so I think that about sums that up. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Cody. He's Matthew.
I'm
and we're
Matthew.
going to be talking about some nostalgia today, as we do.
All the time.
As we do. So, Matthew, we're nerds, right? We're geeks. We watch a lot of TV and movies and play lots of video games and
all the stuff.
stuff. But we are also another type of geek. Or at least I am. You're getting there. I'm trying to introduce you to some
I'm
stuff.
moderately.
You're moderately.
Or slight.
So, Matthew, what is, out of all that have ever been made and you have watched, your favorite anime?
That's an easy question.
And why?
My Hero Academia.
Okay. That's a good pick.
I really like that. Like, compared to all the other series that I've watched.
Why do you like it so much?
I just like the concept of it. It was like, you get to see this character's humble beginnings, unlike all his peers where it's like they were just naturally given a skill at birth. He has to work for it, like, nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like, got something that other characters in the show just don't have.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alerts for My Hero Academia, if you're going to be listening to this part of the podcast.
Whoopsie.
But,
Anyway.
Matthew, what is your favorite character
Oof.
in My Hero Academia?
Oh, God.
Oh, I dropped a bombshell on
Oh,
you.
God. This
I
is
dropped a
difficult.
bombshell.
You know how many characters are in that
There's
show?
a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters.
Okay, so besides the main characters, what's your favorite side character?
Oof.
Like sidekick to the main character. Out of
Oh.
all the ones with their different powers and abilities and all that good stuff, who's your favorite one? I have a clear answer for mine.
You have a
but-
clear answer?
Yes. Should I say my answer while,
Sure.
while your
Why did-
brain loads? Just buffering. Please wait. So my favorite side character is the invisible lady, because I just think it's so funny how they put her in all of those, and her power is just standing there being a normal person, but you can't see her. I really enjoy that as a side character. Besides, like, the love interest with the main character, I think that's interesting. And then I like the frog girl as well. She's got a good sense of humor to her, I think.
God.
Have you thought of your answer yet?
What's the guy who has, like, the ability to, like, harden part of his skin and, like, make it...
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. The red hair guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who hangs out with Bakugo all the time.
Like, he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah,
he
he's
seems
got a
like
good
that guy
character.
that you would be friends with and go out for a drink.
Mm-hmm. Or you'd get really angry at something and he'd be there to get your back and hold you back from actually killing anyone,
Yeah, he's that guy. I mean, if he must be a really cool person if he can stand being near Bakugo for more than a minute.
Yeah.
I remember also seeing, like, in the manga that, like, Bakugo, like, gave him, like, money or something as, like, a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my god, actual person that Bakugo somewhat likely enjoys / also moderately does not dislike at all. That's impressive.
It's pretty cool. Also, I apologize for us butchering the Japanese names here. I am trying to learn Japanese, but Matthew is not, so I will
Inclined.
apologize in advance for
Murdering
Bakugo.
Bakugo.
What would be, I can't remember, like...
Also, what's the guy with the glasses that's, like, got the jet engine legs?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name either. It's like,
Aizu? No.
yeah, something like that. But you all know who we're talking about if you've seen the
Sure.
anime. If not, then you have no idea what we're talking about. Oh, yeah. So for those who have never seen My Hero Academia, it's basically, if it was an American show, it's kind of like, sort of like that movie that is a high school, but it's like a high school for people with superpowers.
Is it Sky School?
Yeah,
Sky High?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but Japanese and better,
Yeah.
effectively. So it's just lots of kids have superpowers or what's called quirks in the My Hero Academia universe, and they all get together to go to this school, and then they have competitions, they fight bad guys, and it's all lots of good stuff. And then there's like an overarching plot where the main character has to eat hair. But I won't elaborate any more on that. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's really good. I highly recommend it. But you watch the dubbed version, don't you?
I do. I am sorry.
You dub scrub.
Hey, the dub on My Hero Academia is not that bad.
I personally just can't stand to watch dubs because if I hear the Japanese voice actors, they do it the best. And I mean, that's one reason I'm learning the language is so that I don't have to use subs or dubs.
Hey, dubs is not that bad.
It's not that bad. I understand why, you need to use it because you can't read, apparently.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see how this is. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
I'm not throwing anything out there. No shade. If you watch dubs, that's okay.
Are we going to make this a sub versus dub versus
We
thing?
might have to do that.
Oh,
at some
my
point.
God.
Might have to do that. Is there any other animes that have piqued your interest?
I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger.
On the Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, man.
It's the best.
I ended up buying just the cards for that.
Dude.
Like, by the crap tons. But I had no one to play with, though.
I legit had 300 plus
What?
cards. Yeah, I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh buff. I have no idea what happened to those cards, though.
They're somewhere.
Somewhere. I may have sold them or gave them away or something. I probably gave them away.
He had like all 5 parts of Exodia.
I had one hand of Exodia. Like, it wasn't a fake either. And I had some Blue Eyes White Dragons, too. Yeah, I was rocking it.
You could probably sold those for like a bunch of money.
I tried to sell them, but nobody wanted them.
Wow.
But anyway, let's get back on
That got dark.
topic, Matthew. So what are we talking about, Matthew?
Favorite animes.
Oh.
So, Cody,
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you now.
Oh, do you?
I do.
What is it?
What is your favorite anime? Now, before you say, can I take a shot?
You already
guessing?
know. 'Cause I've
Do
told
I
you.
know?
Yeah, because I've repeatedly told you that you should watch this anime.
Is it about a guy that's OP as heck?
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna stop you right there. I have 2 favorite anime, and
It's now 2.
okay, well, it's 2 because I have 2 favorite anime that are like different genres of anime. So, my favorite
Oh God.
anime about a character is One Punch Man. Now, I can't explain to you how amazing it is to watch One Punch Man after seeing. So, let me back up a little bit. Basically, my 2 favorite animes are the animes that take the normal anime formula and flip it on its head. So, with One Punch Man, it is as the show title says. He defeats everything in one single punch. Or sometimes he'll use consecutive normal punches to take out an enemy with prejudice. And the whole purpose of the show is to experience how it would be if you were a hero that was unbeatable. And the way they make it work, because usually that concept would not work, but the way that they make it work is that Saitama, that's One Punch Man's name, by the way, is Saitama. Saitama he takes issue with being One Punch Man. He doesn't like defeating things in one punch. It upsets him. And he's literally on a quest to try to find something that can give his life meaning. But it's just so great. The writing and the character development in that anime is the best. I have laughed so hard at some of those times because they build it up. Every single couple episodes they build it up. Oh, this guy's like the super powerful, most bestest at all of the things, and he might have a chance to beat Saitama, and then he's dead because Saitama punched him once.
One punch.
And it's beautiful, and I love it, and it's one of my favorite anime. And I especially like the rivalry he has with the ninja guy. And one of the best but weirdest scenes is when the ninja guy comes to fight him, and literally Saitama just holds his fist up in the air, and the ninja guy falls down, and he gets like crotch punched just because he falls onto his face. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that."
He's never gonna have kids.
And like the whole time, this guy is, the way they animated is he's just like trying to look like it didn't hurt him, but he's sweating, and it's like, "Oh God, I will be back," and then he just waddles off.
Imagine
like,
if you went full
Saitama's
force on
just
that.
like, "Okay, bye." Oh, he'd be dead. But so that's my favorite, one of my favorite animes. The second anime, I can't explain it to you because if I explain it, it will be ruined. If you haven't seen it, go watch. If you like anime and that stuff, I highly recommend you watch Re:Zero. So, I like I said, I can't explain it because I'll ruin it for you if you know what it's about. But effectively, like I said, I like the anime that takes the normal anime formula and flips it on its head, and this one does that to an outrageous extent. If you want to have your heart and soul obliterated and then rebuilt piece by piece, you should watch this anime because it's so good.
Is it for weebs?
Sure, I guess.
For us.
But Re:Zero, go look it up. You can find it on Crunchyroll, I believe. Not sponsored. Hey, Crunchyroll, you should sponsor us.
We totally
so
do
if
that.
you couldn't tell, I really do like anime. So yeah, those are my favorites, Matthew.
What's your least favorite?
I don't really have one because if I watched an anime and then I didn't enjoy like the first or second episode, I just didn't keep watching it. I know a lot of people have issue with Sword Art Online, but I don't. I enjoyed that one just because I'm a video game buff and I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was dark at some.
It can be dark, but I like dark anime. Like I like the anime. Literally, one of my favorites is one of the darkest animes.
You know what I hate? Like
you know what really grinds
grinds my gears is when people say animated shows and movies are for kids.
I mean, they are, but that doesn't mean adults can't watch them either.
Yeah, it's like I watched A Silent Voice, and that anime movie like straight up will make any adult cry.
It baffles me, and one of the reasons I'm so interested in like Japanese culture and stuff, I'm not versed in it. I'm just interested in it. Let me preface this. Is because some of the stuff that comes out of Japan, like anime, not just anime, but movies and just the way of thinking it can be so deep that you don't even expect it. And I have had so many anime take my world perception and break it into a million pieces. And I love that. It's great when it does that. That means it's a good anime when it does that. But Matthew, we should probably stop geeking out about anime. Or I should stop geeking out about anime. And move on to our next segment, which is the one that you're all here for, of course, is our news stuff. I've got some gaming news, but you've got some entertainment news.
I do.
So let's start with yours because I'm interested to hear what you have to say about all this stuff.
Alrighty, so there has been a lot of discussion for Deadpool fans in regards to the movies. Many of you have probably been aware of this for the last couple months, but in case you are uneducated or just don't know about it, or the third option being you've been under a rock for like the last couple of months, Disney bought Fox movies division and its television series.
I have never heard that. That's crazy.
A little bit less than a year ago.
I think they're still in the process of.
Nope, they finalized it. They put pen to paper. They put pen to paper. Okay. They got it as soon as they got.
It took a while to get all that under wraps, and
it took them a while because of the fact they had to go through all the processes to actually make sure that it could happen.
Yeah, 2 mega corporations merging takes a lot of paperwork. But
anyway,
the news.
So one of the biggest concerns as far as the movie side would go is X-Men coming into the MCU, which excites a lot of people because some people really badly want to see them interacting with the Marvel heroes. On the other hand, though, it does concern a lot of people, specifically the people who love Deadpool 1 and 2, because they're worried to see what Disney will do with the Deadpool property. If they bring it into the MCU, people are concerned that it is no longer going to be R-rated, which to some people means like the movie's going to be completely trash. Now, I do know that they did make a Deadpool, like what was that? They re-released Deadpool 2
Oh
in
yeah,
theaters.
they made a Deadpool PG-13 version. It was like a Christmas special or something. I never watched it, but I wanted to.
It looked funny. I mean, I don't know if it would have been really good. To my understanding, they basically just removed all the super gory stuff and redid the effects and stuff. Sorry. And they just did a lot to manipulate it to make it that PG-13.
Yeah.
With a swear word there, here, or there. But in an interview by Hannah of Yahoo Movies UK, they talked to the director of Deadpool 1 and 2, and this is what he had to say on to that topic. It's R-rated, so that's not necessarily the MCU brand, but it doesn't necessarily need to be R-rated, and Disney doesn't necessarily need to only make PG-13 movies. But I think we'll find happy ground. There's
Find
a lot of
happy middle ground.
yeah,
happy ground.
That's what he said. There's a lot of mystery still surrounding what we want to do with Deadpool in the Disney Marvel world, but I think from the discussion I've heard, it's all positive. Superhero movies work because people want to escape and that they want to have fun. They want their heroes larger than life, and if there's a franchise that can do it, it's this. He continued to say, so I think we embraced it in terms of a PG-13 movie that everybody can go see, where we can just dive into the world where it's just a little bit more hyper real and have fun. So I feel like as far as what he was saying, there's a possibility that it isn't going to be R-rated as far as Deadpool himself in his own movies. However, in the larger scheme of things, I think they're going to push for a PG-13 rating, which is somewhat controversial. I feel like, because a lot of fans feel like without that R-rated material, that it would kind of diminish Deadpool as a film.
I could see that. I mean, I get where they're coming from, though. What I would like to see personally is I would like Deadpool's solo films to remain R-rated. But when he's included with, like the MCU and whatever, he can be toned down a little bit.
That's fine. I feel like that's a good common ground. We'll have to wait and see what they do with him in Phase 4 or 6 or whatever he gets introduced with the Marvel X-Men universe. We'll have to see what they do with that. Hopefully we see some exciting stuff with that in the upcoming future. Kevin Feige did talk about the future of Phase 4 and beyond, saying that by the tail end of it, they were possibly going to be introducing the X-Men into it and Blade. And we did talk about that in one of our previous episodes of Back from the Grid podcast. So if you guys would love to hear our discussion about Phase 4, totally give that a shot back.
Whatever platform you were listening to us on, you can probably find the previous episodes as well.
Yeah, so
go take a look.
Go take a look at that. We had some exciting announcements for Phase 4, so give us a shot. So, Cody.
Yes.
Moving on to your story, you had some very exciting news about Rocket League, from my understanding.
But before I get to that, I just remembered that I have some news that I think plays on the previous episode. So 2 things. One, I think last episode we talked about our favorite video games, favorite childhood video games, right?
I believe so.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was mine, and we've talked a lot about that. And as of this last weekend, so...
As of what day?
Like, I don't know, Sunday? Monday? Something. I can't remember. It's been a long week. I completed Ocarina of Time.
Woo! And congratulations.
It was awesome. Also, I finally rewatched all of the MCU and rewatched Infinity War. And it's so good. It's got its issues, but it's so good. And I do believe it is in fact beat out Avatar. So
it did. I remember hearing about that.
Yes, I don't know if we talked about it or not, but there you go, dropping some news bombs on you. But yes, my story is one that hits close because I do quite enjoy me some Rocket League, as Matthew will know because he has not beat me once.
He's pro at Rocket League.
I'm semi-pro. I'm not gonna say I'm pro, but I like playing it a lot, and I'm pretty decent at it. But some good news today If
I
you
like
didn't
good
know,
news.
this podcast is anti-gambling mechanics in video games. I try not to
Get political.
get political about it, so I'm gonna just keep it to personally, I don't like gambling mechanics in video games. I don't like microtransactions of any kind in a game that I paid money for. But that's just me.
But then again, who does?
If you have a different opinion, that's totally fine. But so my story today is talking about how Rocket League, which when it released, the loot system they had was good. It worked. I got a lot of loot for my car when it first released, and I played it a lot. But then and I didn't write this down. I'm just looking at the story here, but I think it was 2016, maybe, if I am reading this correctly. Yes. So, in September of 2016, Rocket League added in loot boxes into its game, which is okay. You know, the game still functioned fine with them. It wasn't, it wasn't anything pay to win or anything like that, but it did kind of, you know, whenever I played Rocket League, Rocket League, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Is how I felt every time I saw those loot boxes. Like, yeah, I'm not spending a dime on that. Good luck with your loot box system. But as of, what is it? It's going to be not right now, but they are currently in the works to rework the loot system so that they can get rid of the loot boxes.
Oh.
And I very much appreciate that because Rocket League is a game that you pay money for, so I don't think that you should have to spend extra money on it to unlock the stuff. I mean, you could unlock the stuff in-game, but when it comes to loot boxes, I'm not going to get into the whole argument. There are scores upon scores of videos on the internet if you want to learn why loot boxes are bad. Effectively, gambling should not be something that you subject children to, and Rocket League and lots of other games that had loot boxes in them were rated as like, oh yeah, these games are totally fine for children. Well, there's gambling and whatever. Not getting into that. But they're getting rid of it, so that's really awesome, and I really like to see that. So there's finally some good change happening in the gaming world,
but
a little bit at a time.
But that's not only the amount of change that's going to be introduced.
That is
to
not.
that.
Matthew, you have some stuff to talk about when it comes to loot boxes, don't you?
So to bounce the story back off, they did announce the ESA or the ESRB along with games, game console and or game platforms.
So Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo,
and all that have partnered up and have said that they are going to implement mechanics and stuff into their platforms of choice that will pretty much make it to where publishers along with games developers have to publish statistics of how likely you are to get rare or just in general specific items from loot crates, which is great. So part of a lot of the major studios and publishers have agreed towards these terms, and these mechanics that they're pushing onto their platforms should be implemented by 2020.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see it. Several other games that are already out do publish statistics in their games storefront on how likely you are to get items in their loot crates. But with this push, we should start to see that in all games that implement mechanics like this, even including games that implement surprise mechanics.
Oh, what are those?
They're like Kinder eggs.
Oh.
Oh.
EA. Anyway, so yeah, that's some good news about loot boxes and gambling mechanics and gaming news and all that good stuff. So look forward to some good change happening.
Yeah.
To the gaming area.
Now we're gonna take 2 steps back.
Now we're gonna be talking about one of our favorite segments to do.
Oh.
Is the versus segment. So right now I believe I'm 1-0 with Deadpool beating Thanos. And then so this time we're going to be talking about to keep it in the theme of anime. We're going to be talking about one classic anime character versus a newer but fairly classic anime character. So Matthew, who would win in a fight between Naruto from the Shippuden show? I don't think I said that right, but or
Butcher it.
the current Deku?
Deku, of course.
Why do you say that?
Because it's Deku.
You're need a better argument than that, Matthew.
If we're talking about are we talking about season 3 or 4? Current. So current
the last
Deku.
episode that you watched, that one.
So he's able to control.
Oh yeah. By the way, spoilers for both of these shows.
So by the time in the anime that I know of, he's able to control how much force goes into his punch, kick, and/or whatever.
Correct.
With him. He's able to control one for all. All for one.
All for one.
Oh
no, you had it right the first time. It's one
what?
for all.
One for all.
Matthew keeps getting these mixed up.
Oh my god, I hate that so much.
You chose the wrong anime character.
He's able to control his power output on specific limbs, so it makes it to where he can't break his limbs nearly as
And he
easy.
has his power suit.
Yeah, and his power suit, which makes it easier to use his powers without breaking limbs. Okay. Because if anybody's watched the anime, you would have known if he uses too much force, he can break his limbs because his body's frail and the power he has is like OP as heck.
Yes. Okay, but so that's your argument for Deku. My argument for Naruto from the Shippuden universe, it's from the Shippuden show.
Sure.
I think Naruto in the Shippuden is probably supposed to be a little bit older than Deku, but I needed to narrow it down whether it was child Naruto or Shippuden Naruto, because child Naruto would probably be beaten by current Deku. But Shippuden Naruto would most definitely beat Deku out, because not only is he super strong and super powerful with the Demon Fox Ninetales. Now, also, I will preface that I haven't watched all of the Shippuden, so probably about middle Shippuden is the Naruto I'm going with, right after he, spoilers again for Naruto, right after he is able to control more or less the Ninetales, give or take. So, not only is he super powerful because he has the Ninetales, but he also has like super awesome ninja techniques that he can use. Like the one I think would be the most useful is shadow clones, because Deku has no way to fight against that. There would just be infinite Naruto against him. And then while Deku's wasting his Detroit Smash on all of the shadow clones, then Naruto can be getting his big... what's that called? His attack that's like a giant spinny ball that he learned from the old guy. Either. I can't remember. I'm sure all of you out there know and are calling us stupid right now. But the big spinny ball attack that I can't remember what it's called. But he'd be prepping that, and then he'd hit Deku one time, and I think Deku would not make it after that.
Yeah, but you also have to realize, along with his Detroit Smash and his other abilities, he's also got super speed, because he can also use One for All.
Have you seen how ninjas run, Matthew? They have super speed too, because they can take on Area 51.
What was he? Todoroki was the guy that had like the jet legs.
No, Todoroki is the guy. He's the shadow guy, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
He was able to he was able to outswim that guy, and he had like super jet engine legs that could like go several hundred miles per hour.
I'll admit he's fast,
and he's super fast, and that's not even accounting for the fact he's not using 100% of his power. It's like Shaggy meme.
If he did use 100%, because Naruto's not using 100% either. If he did use 100%, he would kill himself.
I mean, debatable.
Or cripple himself to the point where he couldn't fight anymore. So I would say a full-powered Deku versus a full-powered Naruto would be, I feel like, fairly equal. Because like an All Might fighting Naruto, I feel like All Might would probably win in that case. There's a good chance.
Like you're undershooting Deku here.
It would be even, but where Deku is right now versus Shippuden Naruto, I will admit, child Naruto would lose to current Deku. Definitely.
This is a hard battle. Like this is fairly even playing field.
At the moment, I feel like Naruto has a leg up on Deku, because Deku is still getting used to his powers, but Naruto at this point has mastered, the frog.
The frog.
I don't remember what it is, but he can like.
He's a frog.
He's a sage. That's what it is. He's mastered his sage powers. He's pretty much mastered his Ninetales. He's mastered his own, was it Chi? Or I haven't seen Naruto in a little bit. But at this point, I feel like Naruto is more developed, more along than Deku is. So he would be able to use his powers more efficiently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Are you sure?
But as per this segment, it is up for the viewers to decide. So go check us out on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff, where we will post the poll that you can all vote on and leave comments and stuff. Give us your opinion, because
Give
we
me
would
this
love to
one,
know.
please. Please give me this one.
Hey, vote for whichever one you think would win, and let us know
Naruto
why,
sucks
and we
anyway.
will discuss it. Wow, Matthew. And all of the listeners have left the chat. But yes, please go to our social media and let us know what you think about this versus segment. And also let us know if you have any ideas of what you would want us to do next. Any superheroes or anime characters or anything versus each other, because it's a fun segment. So Matthew.
And also give us suggestions.
Yes. Just basically come say hi to us on the
We
stuff.
don't bite much.
I mean, much, yeah. Anyway, so I think that's about it. But Matthew, congratulations on 4 podcasts.
Woo! We did it.
We've made it for a whole month.
A whole month.
Yes. What do you think could happen in our future for this podcast?
I'm excited to see what segments we come up with if we get guests onto the show.
Yes, guests are something that we're looking into currently.
Hopefully, along with getting the quality up to better standards, because although we've had some pretty big jumps in quality to compare to what our previous podcast was, and we've had a lot more experience now with what we have. And the equipment has gotten a lot better.
So I'm thinking that, Matthew, we've got a lot of doing to do. We're going to keep this podcast going, and it's going to be pretty cool stuff. And so, yeah, we're going to be streaming on Twitch every now and again, so follow us there. YouTube, we've got our videos up. We might do like extra videos at some point if we have time and get the feeling to do that.
Do
Facebook,
some live
Twitter,
streams.
do some live streams. We should be hopefully on some different platforms. And if you're listening to us in the future, hello. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank all of you guys.
You are all beautiful people.
You guys are the reason we do this, because otherwise me and Matthew would just sit here discussing this stuff and not be productive in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you keep us on our toes, keep us up and running at night. I don't get any sleep because of all of you. I just want you all to know.
It's all your fault.
We will publish information in regards to what platforms we are publishing on Facebook, MySpace, our Twitter account.
MySpace, Tumblr, not Tumblr, but all those on all the online forums. Oh, hey, we should make a Reddit. We should make a subreddit.
No.
Fight me.
Oh God.
Well, okay,
that's a disaster waiting to happen, Cody. Come on,
know what you're talking about. Reddit's a good website.
I don't like Reddit as much as other people would.
Oh, we got some controversy here. Folks. We got some controversy. All right, well, it's not quite 45, but it's okay. We're just gonna end this one a little bit early. So, Matthew,
everybody,
thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much for the positivity and positive vibes you've been giving us.
Yes,
we will all, me and Cody here, we will see you on the next exciting episode of Back from the Grid podcast.
Hey, English. On the next exciting episode of the Grid.
Oh, God. Please no. Anyway, Cody, you got any last words?
That was the last.
That was the last words.
We're done now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm
not done. I'm gonna keep going till we're gonna hit.
Too bad. I'm
all
leaving.
that.
Bye.
Oh my God.
See ya.
Bye. He actually left.